We have an update for you today on the public charge rule, this time coming out of the Second Circuit Court of Appeals in the state of New York. Now, remember, several months ago, there was a judge for the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York that issued a nationwide injunction that blocked that Department of Homeland Security rule, that inadmissibility on public charge grounds rule, from taking effect. Well, that went up to the Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit, which is in New York. Those judges, a 3-judge panel, issued an order keeping that public charge injunction in place, and that happened in early January. Now, this is important because just last month in December, both the 4th and the 9th Circuits lifted the injunction. When those cases went before the appeals court, they overruled the injunction, which would have allowed the rule to take effect, but for the Second Circuit. So the Second Circuit opinion is important because it keeps the nationwide injunction in place. But we're not done yet. We still have to have the Second Circuit Court of Appeals hear this case on the merits. They haven't even litigated the issues at hand yet. This was just an order by the 3-judge panel to keep the injunction in place while they set a briefing schedule and an oral argument schedule in front of that Court of Appeals. So right now we know that the briefing deadline is February 2020, about in the middle of the month of February, and oral arguments will follow soon thereafter, maybe as early March. Now, the case is New York et al. Versus U.S. Department of Homeland Security. It will keep going through the Second Circuit Court of Appeals and could then be appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court after that. But stay tuned. There's more news coming out of the Trump administration. They want the U.S. Supreme Court to intervene and act a little bit faster than these appeals courts. So we will do a separate video getting you up to speed on what's happening in front of the U.S. Supreme Court and what the timeline could look like. If you like this video and want to stay up to date, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you can stay current on this public charge rule and similar rules coming out of Washington.